a shot as awesome as my new gaming PC. Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. We will see a bit more of the Leclerc S2 later on with some gameplay, but before this I want to talk about my new PC. And right next to me sits my good friend Exe, and we actually planned this for quite a while to upgrade the old system. And then at some point the old system was just not cutting it anymore, and together with the new update, actually way before the update, we came to the conclusion I need a completely new PC, because I also need a second PC. Now, I don't want to get into too many details why that is, but let's just say that it is mandatory to have a new PC. And I then want to also draw your attention to the gameplay later, how smooth it looks, how awesome and crisp the graphics is. And this is not just the experience that I have, but also to bring it to YouTube. And while the old system was still good, I just have to say, let's talk about the new system. So Exe, what is the new PC all about? What does it contain and how good is it?
So the big problem Napalm faced back in the day was he was playing at 4K, but he was recording at 1080p. All the video footage out there of his gameplay is 1080p. So the main goal was raw performance for War Thunder, for rendering, but also recording and rendering 4K videos so he can upload 4K to YouTube to bring a better quality to you guys. So the old system, well, i7 7700K 1080 GeForce, the usual high tier stuff back in the day, right? The new system is housed in an NZXT H511 case, black, with a tempered glass side panel. The CPU is a Ryzen 9 3900X 12-core CPU with a boost clock over 4 GHz. He has a Asus TUF Gaming X570 Plus mainboard. His graphical performance results from a RTX 3080 from Asus TUF Gaming. He has 32 gigs of RAM. The whole 4 slots are full. He has 1 terabyte of M.2 SSD, and he has 4 terabyte long-term storage where he can store his recordings, his replays, and his, well, raw footage. The main goal, as I said, was to improve the whole performance of the system, getting stuff faster done, getting stuff in a higher quality. And I think, especially with new power out, it was necessary, and we just wanted to up the quality for you guys. So I'm pretty sure we achieved that with the system.
Now, the next aspect is, obviously, I need to then optimize like the overall interactions between the various systems. That is a little bit of an experimental part, and you can actually watch my videos and then see the improvement. So it's, again, not just even that if you don't even have a 4K monitor yourself to then watch it on YouTube with 4K, even the 1080p footage is vastly improved, as the graphics themselves just are a step further up with the smoothness, with the shadows, with the FPS, etc, etc. And also the gameplay experience so far for just a few hours of gaming are incredibly improved. Now, there are still some drawbacks when it comes to the Gaijin servers, but there is only so much that I can do, right? So as far as the gameplay is concerned, the graphics are smooth, crispy, clear, awesome, and it just is fantastic. It's just the eye candy, and I hope that this will actually translate also to better gameplay footage on YouTube for the normal 1080p quality, but also if some of you are out there in dire need of some 4K gaming in 60 FPS or more. So so far I really have to say that the old system just served me beautifully. It did the job. I could game in 4K, but it was not on max settings. And sometimes when the game was stressful, when multiple planes crashed or etc., you just had those little lags. You had those FPS drops, and sometimes the shadows were not as smooth, or the edges of a tank. The gameplay before was already beautiful. It was already something that I couldn't get away from, but this is just another few steps more up the ladder of awesomeness. So again, overall across the board an improvement, and now the PC also should have the capabilities of streaming. Now there are a few real life things that I have to also deal with, but maybe in like half a year I could start streaming smoothly. This is not a promise, but just an idea of mine. Talking about an idea for a long-term goal, we actually started, and this is a little bit of a history lesson here, we actually started talking about a new PC or upgrading the the previously PC as early as spring this year, when the first wave of the corona crisis hit us. And obviously then things were delayed. While I'm not an expert, I at least know some people that know their stuff, and I asked around, hey, what kind of combo of stuff should I get? Should I exchange this? Can I leave that? And it just was, new stuff was announced, and etc. etc. And then a few things happened. First of all, some of you might know that my nephews literally destroyed my old PC, and that was then a very emergency repair, let's call it that. And yeah, that story. How early was I at your place? 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock?
Don't remind me.
Well, I had absolutely no idea what was broken on the PC. Well, we had an assumption, but anyway, that was an emergency fix. And even this emergency fix with completely reinstalling refreshed the old system. And the performance in game was a little bit improved, but we had a vast improvement in the rendering time. But that was again only the 1080p. The PC also then made some problems afterwards, so we now are here with practically two PCs. I need two PCs, and the good one you'll see will do the job just fine, and the other one is also now as good as it ever can get. So we then had this quick repair, and then already we made kind of the purchase for the new one. So it was then a lot delayed because of the whole 1080 disaster, where all the bots bought it on from the stores, etc. So maybe that's the part where you can talk a bit about it.
Yeah, well, that's a complete other can of worms, because let's just start like that. We had to buy a new SSD for the old system because, well, the SSD was dead. So while I was reinstalling Windows, I was like, that's it. We're also getting you a new PC because you're transporting basically your main PC to your two locations where you had to work, right? So we needed a new one. We ordered that. They gave us a time frame where building would start and where the delivery would be. Delivery time came and delivery was not made. So we contacted them and they were like, yeah, well, we only have like a different brand in stock, and but the one that we selected would be there in only in like one more month.
Yeah, the graphic card.
The graphics card, yeah. And the big problem was the 30 series of GPUs have an issue with the transistors on the backside of the PCB, because some of the companies cheaped out on it and used a cheap array, which results in bad picture quality and whatever. So I said, no, we want that GPU, and he is a content creator, so get on the double, please, right? So we finally got the PC, and it just works butter smooth. I'm really happy.
Yeah. Also, just the visuals of the casing, it's just understatement. It's simple, it's beautiful, I love it. And also, so far, the old system, I never had a side casing that was made out of glass or in general transparent stuff.
He never had a side panel like like window, and while most cases use like a normal plastic window, like which gets scratches on easily, this thing is tempered glass. Like it's massive. The whole case is heavy as well, but that's I connect heavy stuff with a quality because it's solid, it's well made. And Napalm saw the PC once we put it out of the packaging, and he was like, like instantly, my precious. Yeah, so I think the case did the job of showcasing the goods.
Yeah. So how this will translate into performance and gameplay, you again, as I said earlier, you can then see over the course of the next few days, weeks, months, maybe even years. We'll see what will come. And obviously there is still some optimization to make, how to precisely render it with the optimal settings. And also I heard stuff that YouTube itself has some problems with 4K. But as I said, even the normal 1080p full HD quality should improve quite a bit. It should be smoother, even if I just use the shadow play recording, because it's just so easy to set up. It's just, even I can do it. So the thing is, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It gives me now a new boost to make content. It gives me a new refreshment in attacking the game, shoot down some helicopters, and just rubbing some salt into there.
Wait. There was one more thing. So you all guys, you all know about his nephews, right? They destroyed his PC. So Napalm has multiple microphones. So he brought them to my place, right? And he was like, yeah, well, this one is exactly the same as I'm using right now, like the one we're using right now to make this video, but it doesn't work anymore since my nephews got them into their claws. And I was like, okay, let's see. So we open it up because you can screw off the bottom of the microphone and then basically pull the insides out of the microphone. And I was like, I don't know what company builds this, but I'm not sure that exposed wiring should be in there. And he was like, huh, interesting. By the way, that was around 4 a.m. yesterday, or this morning. So I was like, you know what? I go over into my workshop and take a look at it. So I went over, literally demounted the PCBs and the stuff which is inside the microphone, and well, the cables which used to connect the USB port to the main boards were literally just ripped out. And I was like, this is not supposed to be. Thank God I'm a soldering main, and I fixed that very quickly. So yeah, Napalm's nephews struck again and destroyed another piece of his equipment.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, it's so easy to say, well, you just have to lock up your room, you just have to shut the door, and you just have to tell them to not do this. Well, little do you know about my nephews. They are just like, they will become good terrorists one day, I can tell you. They are more evil than the business part of Gaijin. They are just pure evil. And well, there is a bit more about the microphones. Overall, I have 3 microphones. So the one that I'm really using right now is already 5 years old, and my nephews already kind of attacked it, and they ripped off the metal housing, you know, the fine wire, and it was bent in so hard that it actually touched the microphone inside itself. So I had to pull it off. So it's now completely exposed, and I have to obviously treat it with care. The next thing is I bought the very exact same microphone, and as not just a backup but also to just double my equipment, because I am really living in two separate places at once, and I just don't really feel like deassembling all the equipment and then just shoving it into the car, drive 500 kilometers, and then assembling it again and start gaming again. So while this is doable, and I did this for the last couple of weeks to a certain degree, I don't feel like that this is healthy for a PC, right? So while we are doing here the video, you can see the picture right now, and we just tried out then another microphone, the third one that I own for quite a bit but rarely use, because, and this is a very interesting story with the buzzing. When I first told Exe about this, I was getting feedback like, well, you're just a noob, you have no idea what you're doing, just get good, like it can't be that bad. But then I showed him some recording of the black microphone. Currently I'm using the silver microphone. There are the Rank Force USBs series, and they did the job for years, but suddenly all of a sudden the second one made heavy buzzing sound before it then just gave up, and the black one has even more buzzing. And we really tried to root out the problem, and we never came to the bottom of it, what it really was caused by. Now then at some point the second microphone stopped working altogether, and that was then, as we figured out, due to my nephews, which are just, oh look, cable, how much do they, oh no, and just closed it again.
Bling! Oh, Axel will fix it, no problem.
Yeah, and just it's well, we ramble here on quite a bit, but in all essence, what do you think about that whole microphone story?
So it is literally the second silver one is the exact same thing, and the black one is like a next series of it, like an evolvement of the old one. And I don't understand. We literally tried everything. We tried to denoise the cable, but you always have like an electrical background noise in the recording, like it's over pitching or whatever, and I have no idea what could cause it. And it is not the system, because every single PC we tested it on, I even tested it on mine. We tested it, and it was tested on multiple locations, like where Napalm's home, where Napalm works, my place, and it's always the same. The old banged up microphone he's right now using, which is on screen, this one literally just does the job, but the exact same one, just a replacement one, has microphone buzzing, and I have no idea why. I don't know. No.
It makes no sense, because everything's the same. The holder, the placement in the room, the spine that holds it, the cable I just said, everything's the same. We just plug it in, plug out. We tried everything, restarting the PC, fiddling around with the volume settings. It is always the same pattern. And actually in the it is getting worse. When you do a game recording, the buzzing is louder than on the desktop, and the best quality you get when you make a direct recording in Sony Vegas Pro. And but even there, it buzzes significantly louder than the old microphone does under the worst conditions, right? So it is like the other way around, how you would expect it, and it's just never change a winning team, right? So but I don't know, when this microphone just loses the will to exist, then I'm kind of screwed with the sound quality. You see, as a content creator, it's a never-ending story, and I know myself how bad it can sound and how annoying it is to listen to a YouTube video when the sound quality is buzzy and not good. Like, the content itself can be as awesome as ever, but the sound quality makes a huge impact in kind of enduring what is said there. So I mean, I mean, you're War Thunder players, and you are with me for some of you for years, so you're kind of used to suffering. But the sound quality is really where it kind of reaches the limit. So at the end of the day, the microphone is kind of the last real issue, and I think with that we close the video. In the background you could see for quite a bit the Leclerc S2 or 2S, whatever. The thing is, it's a bit just about getting the footage on various different maps, how the FPS behave themselves, and also we try to render this in 4K and upload it to YouTube in 4K. Maybe 4K is not immediately available, but then just give it a bit of time. This is also a little bit of an experiment. How long does YouTube take to process it? Because full HD is done within a few minutes, 2-3 minutes. But I've heard, that 4K just gets available after a day or so. Yeah. So Google, biggest tech company on the planet, I guess, and then they fail the next generation, which they should be the spearhead of, right?
They rented Gaijin server hamsters.
Oh God. So anyway, that's it for me today. It was a little bit of a talking session, a little bit of showing off some photos. I'm really excited for the future, and I hope that you are really seeing the difference. So this is encouraging you to give me feedback. As usual, I'll read all the comments and I respond to as many as I can, and it kind of makes sense. So do you see a difference? Do you see an improvement? Or is it for you making no difference or even a decrease in performance? That's in theory, it could be the case, because the theory is one thing, in practice, it might turn out right the other way. So I think so far, that's it for us too. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more. Don't forget to make a comment in the comment section down below. And then see you guys on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.
Until next time.